From the moment she stepped into the global spotlight, Kate Middleton's fashion choices began to spark a phenomenon that journalists quickly named the Kate effect. When she wore a simple dress from a high street brand, the garment sold out within hours. When she selected a coat from a British designer, it not only boosted the designer's sales but also reinforced the image of British fashion as timeless, elegant, and globally relevant. The phenomenon was not merely about clothes, it was about trust. People recognized in Kate a woman who dressed with authenticity, balancing her royal role with accessibility. She could wear a couture gown to a state dinner and the next day step out in a pair of affordable jeans to cheer her children at a sports game. That ability to move between worlds, to honor royal tradition while remaining relatable, made her a style icon who transcended fashion. In a culture saturated with fast trends, Kate's approach was different. She repeated outfits, showcased sustainability, and often chose timeless designs over fleeting fashions. Each appearance became a cultural conversation, sparking interest not only in what she wore but in what it symbolized. Was it diplomacy? Was it solidarity? Was it a quiet nod to history? With each carefully chosen outfit, Kate demonstrated that fashion could be more than fabric. It could be communication, diplomacy, and cultural influence. Kate Middleton quickly recognized that her wardrobe was not just personal expression but a form of diplomacy. Each time she traveled abroad with Prince William, her clothing choices paid tribute to the host nation. In Canada, she wore a red maple leaf fascinator. In India, she chose dresses featuring local patterns. In New Zealand, she donned outfits designed with Kiwi symbols in mind. These gestures, subtle yet deliberate, communicated respect and cultural sensitivity without words. Diplomats and commentators praised her ability to use fashion as a bridge, strengthening international ties through visual symbolism. Yet this was never performative, it was thoughtful. Kate understood that people notice when their culture is honored, and she leveraged that awareness to build goodwill. In doing so, she transformed royal engagements into opportunities for connection. Her fashion became a language of respect, proving that soft power could be woven into fabric and thread. Each outfit was meticulously researched, ensuring it honored traditions without appropriating them, celebrated local artisans, and highlighted Britain's own creative industries. The impact was profound. Rather than seeming distant, Kate projected a monarchy attuned to global interconnectedness. For millions watching abroad, her wardrobe became a sign of empathy, signaling that the royals were not just visitors but participants in a shared world of cultural exchange. One of the defining aspects of Kate's style was her ability to combine high fashion with high-street brands in a way that felt both aspirational and accessible. She could wear an Alexander McQueen gown at a state banquet and be photographed the next day in a Zara blazer, sending a message that elegance did not require exclusivity. This mix reinforced her relatability, showing that she remained connected to the lives of ordinary people despite her royal role. For the fashion industry, the effect was seismic. Designers gained global exposure overnight, while affordable retailers experienced surges in sales whenever Kate wore their clothes. More importantly, she reshaped the perception of what royal fashion could mean. It was no longer an unattainable spectacle reserved for the privileged few but something that ordinary women could emulate in their own lives. By recycling outfits and re-wearing favorites at major events, she also modeled sustainability, countering the notion that public figures must constantly showcase new wardrobes. This conscious balance of couture and everyday wear allowed her to create a unique identity, elegant yet relatable, regal yet grounded. In doing so, she not only influenced trends but also quietly redefined the relationship between royalty and fashion in the modern era. Perhaps one of the most radical aspects of Kate's fashion philosophy was her willingness to rewear outfits in a culture obsessed with novelty. For many public figures, especially women in the spotlight, repeating clothes risks criticism. Yet Kate embraced it unapologetically, wearing the same dresses, coats, and suits to multiple events over the years. This practice carried a message deeper than aesthetics. It spoke of sustainability, prudence, and confidence in her own choices. She demonstrated that value lies not in constant consumption but in timeless design, quality tailoring, and personal authenticity. Each reappearance of an outfit felt deliberate, signaling to the world that she was not beholden to trends but anchored in her own sense of style. The public responded with admiration, interpreting her choices as a rejection of extravagance and an embrace of practicality. In a time when the monarchy faced scrutiny over privilege, Kate's re-wearing became a quiet act of solidarity with those who live more frugally. Critics noted how rare it was for a royal to send such a grounded message simply through wardrobe. What could have been dismissed as ordinary repetition instead became a powerful statement. True elegance does not fear being seen twice. Throughout her years as Duchess of Cambridge and later Princess of Wales, Kate created iconic fashion moments that cemented her reputation as a global style leader. The sapphire blue Issa dress she wore at her engagement announcement instantly sold out, symbolizing new beginnings and linking visually to her engagement ring, once worn by Diana. At the 2012 London Olympics, her sporty yet chic outfits reflected national pride and resonated with the energy of the Games. On state visits, her gowns by Alexander McQueen, Jenny Packham, and Amelia Wickstead combined royal glamour with contemporary sophistication, earning praise from fashion critics worldwide. Even her more casual looks, such as her love for Breton stripes paired with jeans during sailing events, became cultural touchstones, copied by women across generations. Each of these moments was not just about fashion but about symbolism, the ability of clothing to embody values, milestones, and aspirations. They showed a woman confident in her own skin, unafraid of the scrutiny, and skilled at turning what could be superficial into substance. Kate's iconic style moments became part of the visual memory of the 21st century monarchy, resonating across newspapers, screens, and wardrobes around the globe. Kate's wardrobe choices gave extraordinary exposure to British fashion houses, from long-established names like Alexander McQueen to emerging designers who suddenly found their work in the global spotlight. When she wore their creations, sales surged, reputations grew, and international recognition followed. Designers often spoke of the Kate boost, the immediate increase in visibility and credibility that came from being chosen by the Princess of Wales. Middleton personal taste, her selections represented a deliberate effort to support national talent, using her platform to showcase Britain's creative economy. The ripple effect was not limited to high fashion. She also elevated milliners, shoemakers, and small labels, often spotlighting artisans whose craft might otherwise remain niche. By integrating British design into her wardrobe at high-profile events, she acted as an ambassador for her country's fashion industry, reinforcing the monarchy's role in promoting cultural identity. Her influence extended globally, with international fashion editors noting how Kate's choices set trends far beyond the UK. She showed that style could serve not only personal expression but also national pride, turning every appearance into a runway for Britain's creative spirit. The reach of the Kate effect extended far beyond Britain. Around the world, women of all ages looked to her wardrobe for inspiration. Retailers from Europe to North America to Asia reported spikes in sales of similar clothing after she wore an outfit. Fashion magazines dedicated special sections to analyzing her choices, while social media communities flourished around recreating her looks. What distinguished Kate's influence from that of a typical celebrity was its breadth. She appealed to grandmothers as much as to teenagers, to professionals as much as to young mothers. Her fashion conveyed reliability, modesty, and timelessness, qualities that transcended generational divides. In cultures where monarchy was viewed with skepticism, her relatability softened perceptions, presenting a royal image that felt less distant and more human. By wearing clothes that ordinary women could imagine themselves in, Kate built a bridge between the palace and the high street, turning her wardrobe into a cultural touchpoint that transcended borders. Her global fashion influence underscored a deeper truth. She had become not only a royal figure but a cultural icon, shaping how modern women think about elegance, identity, and accessibility. Even as she embraced motherhood, Kate continued to shape fashion culture by modeling a wardrobe that was both practical and polished. Her choices reflected the realities of parenting: comfortable flats, durable coats, and styles that allowed her to kneel down and play with her children, while still maintaining a sense of grace. By doing so, she redefined what it meant to be stylish as a mother, countering the myth that elegance requires detachment from the everyday. Women admired not only what she wore but how she wore it, pushing a stroller in a chic coat, attending school events in approachable dresses, or appearing at the sidelines of her children's sports games in casual yet put-together outfits. She demonstrated that fashion could empower rather than constrain, supporting women in their daily lives rather than demanding they sacrifice practicality for beauty. This influence was subtle but powerful, as it encouraged a generation of mothers to see style not as performance but as self-respect. In Kate, they saw not perfection but possibility, the chance to feel regal in the ordinary. With her new role as Princess of Wales, Kate's fashion legacy deepened, linking her to the memory of Diana while allowing her to define her own narrative. Comparisons were inevitable, yet Catherine approached the title with humility, often honoring Diana through subtle sartorial nods, pearls, certain silhouettes, or colors associated with her late mother-in-law, while remaining true to her own minimalist, refined aesthetic. Fashion journalists emphasized that Shahad managed to create a legacy distinct from Diana's charisma-driven glamour. Kate's influence was quieter, steadier, rooted in sustainability and accessibility. Her wardrobe did not just inspire imitation, it reshaped expectations of what royalty should represent in the 21st century. By championing rewear, by choosing local designers, and by aligning fashion with service, she positioned style as an extension of duty rather than distraction from it. The result was a new kind of royal fashion legacy, one that will likely influence not only her generation but the next, offering George, Charlotte, and Louis a blueprint of authenticity married with elegance. Kate's influence extended far beyond the boundaries of fashion into the realm of cultural identity. She symbolized a blend of tradition and modernity, a woman who could wear a tiara at a state banquet and jeans at a school event without diminishing either role. For Britain, she became an emblem of national pride, embodying values of dignity, relatability, and quiet strength. For the wider world, she was proof that royalty could remain relevant in a time skeptical of privilege. Through her wardrobe, her poise, and her choices, she conveyed a vision of womanhood that was aspirational yet attainable. She defined glamour not as extravagance but as authenticity, not as spectacle but as substance. By doing so, she became more than a princess or duchess. She became a cultural icon whose legacy will endure long after specific outfits are forgotten. Her story as a style leader is not only about influence on clothing racks but about the shaping of ideals, of grace, of responsibility, and of the power of quiet consistency to leave a lasting mark on history.